Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sonic Generations Trans%. If you're wondering what trans% means, it means I am basically doing all modern stages and bosses, but with modern Sonic. And modern Sonic has a completely different model here, as you can see. This is the Trans Femme Sonic mod by Lady Lunanova, who has not only provided us with one of the best Sonic models to date, she also gave us the ability to, also gave us voiceover lines that are completely new to this game. So I will begin this shortly. Just one moment. There we go. Alright. I should be ready to go in 3, 2, 1. So, all modern stages and bosses is a category I came up with myself where I only do Act 2 of every stage. Sonic Generations is split up into Act 1 and 2, which Act 1, all the Act 1s are done with Classic Sonic, and Act 2 are Modern Sonic. And that also includes the stages that Modern Sonic takes care of as well, such as Perfect Chaos and Egg Dragoon. And it's you basically have the same kind of controls as regular Modern Sonic, but you still have the flair of the Trans Femme Sonic. Especially with like the voice lines you get to hear throughout these levels. It is kind of similar to Sonic's quips in Sonic Unleashed whenever you do the day stages. And so, main mechanic that I be using a lot throughout these levels is the boost mechanic. And the boost mechanic lets you, well, mainly go fast. And it's usually not too hard to build up boost throughout the game. Mostly you build up boost by collecting rings, doing tricks, or even destroying enemies. I'm just going through the rest of Green Hill modern stage. I will say that I really love the remixes that they made for this game, especially for the modern stages. Oh, and one more thing to note, I completely forgot. Another cool thing about Transform Sonic here is that she leaves behind a trail, a pride flag trail, whenever she does the homing attack. By default, it's left on the trans flag. And also another neat thing is that you can set an option for each time you get a S rank. That was weird. Each time you get an S rank, she'll say, oh yeah, trans rights, which is really neat. So now we're on to Chemical Plant Modern, and this is one of my favorite modern remixes in this game. I usually try to take that corner pretty sharp so I can be sure to get the rainbow ramp if possible, but unfortunately it's a really, really tight corner to take while spin dashing. And we're gonna avoid going into the water as much as possible since it's a little bit slower to do. The best way to get through these stages fast is to take the topmost route, which is like always been kind of a general rule within Sonic games, but especially is so for Generations and all modern Sonics. I was... Oh, okay. So, I was trying not to hit the goop there, the stuff that's coming out of those tubes as you're going down. But unfortunately, I kind of hit them one too many, so I have to be really careful about this spot. And this is usually where I would actually be able to take that top route to avoid coming down here, but unfortunately, I goofed it up. So, it's okay though, because you're only in the water for like a brief moment before you can resurface. Shoutouts to those spider bots that let me get up to higher routes. Overall, it's really satisfying to like pull off these different tricks that you can do throughout these levels to make these particular levels go faster. Ah, I missed that one. So there was a very small window there for me to grab that pulley, but unfortunately I was a little too late on that. And wow, I didn't get the strange camera angle you can get sometimes there. The camera angle on that last part can be kind of weird at times, because like sometimes it'll do the side angle for the camera, or I'll just do like camera behind you. But anyway, here we're on to Sky Sanctuary, one of the best levels from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I know a lot of people who play Sonic 3 and Knuckles really like this level. And they've done a great service to it in this game. So when I take off from those rainbow, either the rainbow ramps or these rainbow rings, happy Pride by the way, I just hold whatever direction I want, and it'll be able to do tricks efficiently. And then we can drift through this part. Shoutouts to Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, which also has this stage, and it's got really good music as well. This part can be a little bit tricky to traverse through, because what is this? Platforming in my Sonic game, etc., etc. A little too far there. Come on. There we go. That's the one thing about these modern stages being as open as they are. I didn't want to come down here. Thank you, game. Sonic likes to automatically, like, lock on to whatever nearest enemy is, whatever enemy is nearest to her, and it'll it'll end up with her doing a homing attack on an enemy that is in a completely different spot than what I'm expecting. I see we got a donation from Soapfly Rat for £7. Thank you for that donation. Reminder that we were donating for Stonewall Housing, which is a program that houses transgender people that do not have any place to go. So, alright. So we are going to be skipping straight to the middle era, which is called as the Adventure or the Dreamcast era. And we are going to be starting with Speed Highway from Sonic Adventure, which Sonic Adventure is my favorite Sonic game. It's actually like the first Sonic game I played and really got in, and what really got me into the Sonic series as a whole. Also, this is one of the most satisfying stages to do in this category, by far. SA1 is awesome, and both the PC or both the SADX and SA1 have speedrun categories. I didn't ever think that people would be actively speedrunning the Dreamcast version, but apparently it's gotten far enough to where it's possible to speedrun it and also skip a ton of cutscenes. Yeah, shoutouts to Witherman. Who actually, I believe, did a run that, either this past GDQ or last year's GDQ, like one of the past GDQs that happened more recently. And so we're on to the drifting section, where we just go drifting down these big old roads. And try not to get hit by cars at the same time, because that can happen. I didn't intend to go that way, but that would seem like it was much quicker. So thanks, game. I gotta be a little careful about these cars. These little police cars are like, they're a pushover. You literally can just plow right through them. So that's Speed Highway done, and now we're on to everyone's favorite level from Sonic Adventure 2, City Escape. And it's everyone's favorite level for one reason in particular, and that is the song. And also, Transfem Sonic gets a custom snowboard that has the trans flag on it, so very fitting for this marathon. And you can build up a lot of boosts just by going through the different cars, going through the gun robots, and doing tricks off of these ramps. Shoutouts to Tony Harnell and I always forget. I always remember one guy's name and forget the other. But they actually came back to re-record this version of City Escape, or Escape from the City. Whoops. Okay, that was... So yeah, let's try that again. This time, let's actually get over the gap without falling. Then I do this little... Oh. Didn't want to go through there. But what I like to do in that section is I like to boost through that... Boost over that entire section. Just to get through it much quicker. Alright, and, well, first we got some more platforming. Yes, more platforming in a Sonic game. What is this? Gotta wait for these platforms. There we go. I really goofed up on that one. We... Can't. Okay, I'm still good. I gotta remember that, like, unless I'm directly over a pit, I'm fine. Alright. Now it's time to say hello to an old friend. And unfortunately, our old friend has really brought out the guns for this chase, or I should say, saw blades. So basically, wherever you happen to be, whatever position you happen to be in is where this truck will put a chainsaw down to try and get you. As long as you keep switching around so you don't get hit by them, you should be, well, I was gonna say you should be fine, but then that happened. And as if the chainsaws weren't frightening enough, this thing has a rocket booster attached to it. But it doesn't work, because it just slams right into a building. Alright, now we're on to our next stage, and that is Seaside Hill from Sonic Heroes, which, as far as Sonic Heroes levels goes, this is definitely one of the tame ones. And it has the best music. Oh yeah, Hang Castle is a really good stage too. I would have loved to see Hang Castle be brought into like Generations. But, oh, how would I put this? Oh, cat, why do you have to choose right now to be noisy? One thing I kind of wish this game, like, did better was, the wall jumping mechanic. I wish the wall jumping wasn't just tied to being those particular, panels on the side of different areas. It's kind of similar to what like Sonic Unleashed did for different power-ups, where like you could only utilize them in certain spots, and that was a bit annoying. I mean, Colors kind of rectified it a bit by letting you wall jump anywhere, and then Generations decided to reverse that for some reason. I don't know. Okay. That was a great time for me to fall down there. can wall jump anywhere in Unleashed? Huh. I always thought it was like particular places, but it's been a really long time since I played Unleashed, so... I just remember you had to have like specific upgrades for that. I did not want the turtle path, whoops. I was hoping to get the race car path, because this turtle path is much slower, and I've been having issues lately of like constantly getting the turtle path by accident. I think my timing on it is just a bit off. Woo! Saved myself. By the way, shout out to the egg pawns. I really like them as enemies. And I'm really glad that after Heroes they decided to keep using them. Oops. And I guess you can't jump from there because of the... Sonic, I'm begging you. Kind of missed the double jump of Sonic Colors as well. Or, like, at least the ability to, like, go up in the water. Alright, so, interesting fact about this game. Your boost runs out much quicker when you're boosting on the water. Which, I guess, in a sense, that makes sense because of, you know, Sonic's aversion to water in general. I cannot get through here without getting crushed, can I? There we go. Okay. That was a bit of a slow ending there, but we got through it. So now, before we take on the boss, we are going to visit our good friend Shadow. Now, normally, if I were to be doing Blaze percent, this fight would be between Blaze and Sonic, with Sonic replacing Shadow. But since this is trans percent, Shadow is still Shadow. Yeah, there we go. This is probably one of my favorite rival fights. Well, like one of my two favorite rival fights in this game, the other being Silver. Wow, that was a really quick, got through this fight pretty quickly. Now we get a short rendition of Live and Learn. So we're gonna slow Shadow down and just tickle him until he passes out. Oh yeah, I kind of like menued through it quickly, but she did make a reference to Sonic Adventure 2 by going, "Do you know who I am?" Alright, now we're on to Perfect Chaos. with a really good remix of Hope in Your Heart. And a fun fact I always like to talk about is the fact that Perfect Chaos here is what he was supposed to look like in SA1 when it was being developed, but unfortunately, due to Dreamcast limitations, they had to make his model much simpler. And it's actually real nice that they finally got to bring the actual model of Perfect Chaos to light through this game. Ah. So, unlike the Perfect Chaos fight in SA1, you're not really super for this, so if you fall into the water like that, especially the deep end, you're gonna fall down and lose a life. Thankfully, you just have to, like, enter Perfect Chaos without having to boost, and you'll give damage. This phase is a lot trickier because, once again, platforming. But, wow, I was aiming for the rings there, and it decided not to let me. Woo! This run is quickly turning into spaghetti. Alright, let's try this again. Okay, so I need to not jump there. Got it. And there we go. Perfect Chaos is down. Yeah, I totally expected not to get a good rank there. Anywho, we're on to the modern era with Crisis City. One of the best stages from Sonic 06. Smiley face. Yeah, and this is the best remix for Crisis City as well. Oh, okay. Totally skipped the boost pads there. So there is a chance to get stuck in that loop if you don't boost through it properly. I've gotten stuck there a lot of times, but thankfully it didn't happen here. Sonic, that is lava, not a swimming pool. Do not swim in lava, do not pass go. And also do not hit geysers either. She does like hot baths, that's true. So fun fact, the creatures within this level are... I believe the lizard-looking ones are called the Iblis spiders. The worms are Iblis worms, and I forget what the flying ones are called, but Iblis birds, I guess. So these, flame geysers are a little tricky to get... why am I doing that? I need it to be higher. There we go. And try not to get crushed by any of them, like I almost did there. Nice. I was able to get through there without hitting those spikes. And now it's time for That Tornado is Carrying a Car. Or, sorry. That tornado's carrying a car! Probably my worst Jason Griffith impression, but I tried. And also, to note, Sonic 06 is technically Sonic Adventure 3. I will argue this because there is literally a Chow in Space 3 poster within that game, so... And now we're on to Rooftop Run from Sonic Unleashed. Once again, banger song right here. Oop. And we got some new enemies. These are the Egg Fighters. I did not realize I didn't have any rings there. Whoopsie. There is a mod for this game where you can play all the original levels from Sonic Unleashed, the day stages at least. And Rooftop Run is pretty much the same as it was in that game, which is nice. Did not get hit by those swinging blades, which is nice. Oops. I did get hit by one of these barrels. Donkey Kong, please. And now to say hi to Professor Pickle briefly. Hi, bye, Professor Pickle. I didn't even get a chance to say anything. I was through the office. But yeah, you basically passed through the office of Professor Pickle there. Also, apparently the theme of this Rooftop Run is that there's some sort of celebration going on, hence all the balloons and the hot air balloons and confetti and such. So this is just a small section where you sidestep to avoid the buildings. Do a drift there. I'll get this extra life just for fun. Can I avoid getting squished there? Yep. So if you start boosting like right when you get to that spot, you can avoid getting squished by that spike ceiling. Now it's just defeat these robots with the egg fighters. And also if I can hit the... Yep, there it is. If I could also hit the dirigible, like it'll drop a lot of rings, which I can't collect those rings anyway because they drop so fast. Or I'm too fast for collecting them. Hi, Labont. Thank you for the good luck. And now we're on to Planet Wisp, the final level in the game. Visually, Planet Wisp looks stunning here. Like, I love what they did with Planet Wisp visually, but unfortunately, it just overstays its welcome very quickly. Once you get into the factory bit. So, a little fun fact about those rails that had the Eggman springs on them. Normally the Eggman springs are like fake springs that'll just bounce you elsewhere, like where you're not supposed to go. Those particular ones will actually send you to the next rail, like actually being helpful for once. And we get introduced to the Rocket Wisp from Colors. Which in the classic version of this stage, you would be using Spike with Classic. Which is why, I mean, for now, I don't really run any categories with Classic. Though that may change someday because the Classic Tails mod is really good. I did not mean to do that. I thought that was progression, but... Sonic got distracted by the shiny. Just like me, for real. I keep jumping way too soon there. There we go. So these saw blades can kind of be a pain to deal with, because you have to, like, wait for them to be out of range so you can get by them without getting hurt. Also, hi Egg Pawns, now with hard hats and pickaxes. Even though this is a factory, not really a digging spot. So this is the section that can be a bit tedious in this level. But I find as long as you stay on the minecarts, you can avoid having to do the walk of shame down below. That's fine. Getting hit there was... Wait. Sometimes I get a little, like, jumpy when I'm trying to figure out, like, what's a good spot for me to... Sonic, we're supposed to get on the minecart, not... There we go. For some reason, Sonic will get caught on the side of the minecart if you don't jump on it properly. Oops. And now we're just in the ending section where it's just rocket all the way up. And avoid getting squished. Oopsies. And just like that, we are at the end of Planet Wisp. 6 minutes, honestly, is not a bad time for me to get an overall on this level. Oh, I got Green Forest. Great. Alright, so it's now time to face off against everyone's favorite hedgehog. Well, my favorite hedgehog, anyway. Hey, Silver. And this is going to be the last rival battle of this run. Throughout this fight, I like to try and gather up a lot of boost by hitting all the cars, gathering all the rings. So he's going to be doing the car charge here. This is ideally where you would want a bunch of boost, so you can actually get to him in time. Because otherwise you have to sit through another pattern like that. And sometimes you could just hit him quickly like that when he's close to you. And now it's time for Katamari with Silver. Na 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 Sonic Damacy. And he's gone. Alright. Oh. Now it's time to face off against the final boss of this category, a Dragoon. Hopefully I can get an S rank, so you'll get to hear the awesome line that Transform Sonic has. But for now, it's time for a change of pace, everybody. You ever just feel like it's time for a change of pace? I have those days. Man, you moved away from me when I could have gotten hit on you. So this boss is one of those bosses where you can either get really good luck and get a bunch of hits on him early into the fight and save a bunch of time in the run, or that could happen. I was really hoping I wouldn't get squished there, and thankfully I didn't. Because usually if you mess up during this wall jumping section, he'll just decide, you're dead. For some reason, one of those ramps like to randomly disappear. It's like some weird little graphical glitch that happens. It's kind of annoying because I like to try and get on top of the rails whenever I can. I am not in a good spot right now. Thankfully, I get some rings here. I saw the indicator come up and it would not let me. Game decided, nah, you're not close enough. We're gonna deny you that one. I don't want to be skewered. Save the skewering for barbecues. Alright, so now we're in the dimensional phase, which is good to see. And time will be coming up in just a short bit, like as soon as I get the final hit on a Dragoon. And that's time. And do we get it? Yes. Oh yeah, trans rights, everybody. Thank you so much for having me on this marathon. It's been a absolute pleasure being able to show off this game and this category. Remember, you all are valid. Stay safe out there, and before I sign off, you can find me on Blue Sky and Twitch under Fresquito Akio, and I'm making an effort to stream again, so be sure to check me out on Twitch if you're really into Sonic games and such, and since that's what I play for the most part. Alright, thank you so much for having me, and we are going to go to intermission to set up for the next run.